Hi, I'm Angel. I've been married to Marcus for 3 years, and if you'd asked me 6 months ago, I would have told you he was my soulmate. His mother, Patricia, and his sister, Vanessa? Well, they were part of the package deal, and I tried my best to make it work. Angel, honey, could you grab the groceries from the car? Marcus called from the living room where he sat watching football with his dad, Robert. Sure thing, I said, heading toward the front door. It was pouring rain outside, but the car was just in the driveway. I stepped outside, the cold November rain immediately soaking through my sweater. I grabbed the bags from the trunk and turned back toward the house. That's when I heard it, the distinct click of the deadbolt. I rushed to the door and tried the handle. Locked. I knocked gently at first. Hello? The door's locked, I called out. No response. I knocked harder. Marcus, the door locked behind me. Can someone open it? Through the window, I could see Vanessa walk past the foyer. She glanced at the door, looked directly at me, and kept walking. Vanessa, come on, it's raining! I pounded on the door now, the grocery bags getting heavy in my arms. Finally, the door opened a crack. Patricia stood there, her lips pressed into a thin line. Can I help you? She asked, as if I were a stranger. Patricia, I just went to get the groceries. Can I come in? I'm getting soaked. Marcus and Vanessa told me about your little tantrum this morning, she said, her voice dripping with disapproval. Maybe some time outside will help you cool off and think about your behavior. What tantrum? I didn't... Patricia, please, it's freezing out here. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You disrespected this family. I asked Marcus to help with the dishes. That's not disrespect. You raised your voice at my son, Patricia said. In his own home. Our home, I corrected. And I didn't raise my voice, I just asked him to... She shut the door in my face. I stood there, stunned, rain streaming down my face. I knocked again, and again. No one came. 20 minutes passed. I was shivering violently when Robert finally opened the door. Good Lord, Angel! What are you doing out there? His face showed genuine concern. They locked me out, I said through chattering teeth. Patricia! What the hell is going on? Robert called into the house. I stumbled inside, dripping water everywhere. Marcus came around the corner. Marcus, your mother and sister locked me outside in the rain, I said, waiting for his anger, his defense of me. Instead, he shrugged. Mom said you were being disrespectful. Maybe you had it coming. The words hit me like a physical blow. Excuse me? You've been on edge lately, Angel, snapping at everyone. Mom was just trying to teach you a lesson. A lesson? Marcus, I was outside for 20 minutes in a rainstorm. You're being dramatic, Vanessa chimed in from the kitchen doorway. It's just a little rain. Are you kidding me right now? My voice rose despite myself. See? Patricia appeared beside her daughter. There's that temper again. Robert looked between all of us, his jaw tight. Patricia, this is ridiculous. She could catch pneumonia. Oh, Robert, don't be so dramatic. Patricia waved him off. She's fine. I looked at Marcus, really looked at him. You're seriously okay with this? I think you're blowing this out of proportion, he said. Just apologize to my mom and we can all move on. Apologize? For what? For being difficult lately. For the attitude. I felt something crack inside me. I'm not apologizing for asking my husband to help with dishes. There it is again, Vanessa said. The attitude. My best friend Jasmine's words from last week echoed in my mind. Angel, the way they treat you isn't normal. You know that, right? I'd defended them then. I wouldn't make that mistake again. The next morning, I called in sick to work and drove straight to Jasmine's apartment. They did what? Jasmine nearly dropped her coffee mug when I finished explaining. Locked me out. For 20 minutes. In the rain. And Marcus sided with them? Said I had it coming. My voice cracked. Jasmine sat beside me on her couch. Okay. We need to think about this clearly. This isn't just mean, Angel. This could be considered assault. Or at least reckless endangerment. I don't know if I want to. Did you take pictures of yourself when you got home? Any evidence? I shook my head. I just took a hot shower and went to bed. Marcus slept in the guest room. Of course he did, Jasmine muttered. What happened when you woke up? He left early for work. Didn't even say goodbye. My phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. Mom wants to know if you're coming to family dinner tonight. Try to be pleasant. I showed Jasmine the text. Unbelievable, she said. Angel, I need to tell you something. Remember when you asked me to pick up your dry cleaning last month when you were sick? Yeah? I ran into Vanessa at the coffee shop next door. She was with some woman I didn't recognize. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but I heard her say something like, once we get rid of Angel, Marcus will finally see sense. My blood ran cold. Get rid of me? I didn't think much of it at the time. Figured it was just typical in-law gossip. But now? Jasmine pulled out her phone. I'm calling my cousin Derek. He's a lawyer. Jasmine, I can't afford free consultation. He owes me. 20 minutes later, we were on a video call with Derek Chen, who listened intently as I recounted the story. So they physically locked you outside in dangerous weather conditions? And your husband not only condoned it but blamed you? Derek asked. Yes. And this followed a pattern of what sounds like emotional abuse and isolation tactics? I hesitated. I guess so. I never thought of it that way. Angel. Derek leaned forward. Has Marcus ever tried to separate you from friends? Made you feel like you're always in the wrong? Supported his family over you consistently? The examples flooded back. The time he said Jasmine was a bad influence. When he convinced me to quit my book club because it took time away from family obligations. How every argument somehow became my fault. Yes, I whispered. All of that. Have they ever physically harmed you before? No, but I remembered something. Last month, Patricia accidentally spilled hot coffee on my lap at Sunday brunch. She apologized, but Vanessa laughed and said I should have been paying attention. Derek typed notes. I need you to document everything. Every incident you can remember. Dates, times, witnesses. What are you thinking? Jasmine asked him. At minimum, we're looking at a hostile living environment, possibly reckless endangerment. If there's a pattern of abuse, we might have grounds for a restraining order. Definitely grounds for divorce with fault. Divorce? The word felt heavy. Angel. Derek's voice was gentle. Your husband let his mother lock you outside in a rainstorm and told you that you deserved it. That's not a marriage. That's abuse. That evening, I went to family dinner, but this time I brought my phone with the voice recorder running. Patricia greeted me at the door. Oh, Angel, I hope you've had time to reflect on your behavior yesterday. Actually, Patricia, I'd like to talk about what happened. Marcus appeared. Angel, please don't start. Start what? I just want to understand why I was locked outside. You were being difficult, Vanessa said, joining us in the foyer. Mom was teaching you respect. Respect, I repeated slowly. By locking me out in the rain? You're being dramatic again, Patricia sighed. It was barely drizzling. It was a thunderstorm. I have the weather reports to prove it. Marcus's eyes narrowed. Why would you need weather reports? Just keeping track of facts, I said calmly, since everyone seems to remember things differently than I do. This is exactly the problem, Vanessa snapped. You're always trying to make us look bad, always playing the victim. I'm not playing anything. I'm stating what happened. See, Marcus? Patricia put her hand on her son's arm. She's argumentative, combative, just like I told you. Marcus looked at me with something like disgust. Maybe Mom's right. Maybe you do need to work on yourself before we can move forward. That's when I knew. This wasn't going to get better. This wasn't a misunderstanding or a rough patch. This was who they were, and I needed to get out. I moved out the next day while Marcus was at work. Jasmine helped me pack my essentials and important documents. I didn't take anything that wasn't clearly mine. I left my key on the kitchen counter with a note. We need to talk. Neutral location. Thursday, 2 p.m., Coffee Haven. Bring your lawyer if you want. Thursday arrived. I sat in the coffee shop with Derek beside me. Marcus walked in alone, his face twisted with anger. What the hell is this, Angel? A lawyer? Sit down, Marcus, I said calmly. I don't need to sit. You abandoned our home, our marriage. I left an unsafe situation. Unsafe? He laughed bitterly. You're insane. Mr. Thompson, Derek interjected. I'd recommend watching your language. We're recording this conversation. Marcus's face went red. Recording? Are you serious? Completely, I said. I want everything documented. He sat down heavily. Fine. What do you want? I want you to explain why you let your mother lock me outside. Oh my God, we're back to this? It was nothing. It was assault, actually, Derek said mildly. Possibly reckless endangerment. Assault? Marcus sputtered. She was outside for a few minutes. 20 minutes. In 38-degree weather. During a thunderstorm. I have photographs of myself after, Marcus. I was hypothermic. His expression faltered. You're exaggerating. Your father saw me. He was horrified. Why weren't you? Because you... He stopped himself. Because I what? Deserved it? Silence. That's what you said, Marcus. That I had it coming. You were being disrespectful to my mother. I asked you to help with dishes. You embarrassed her. You made her feel like she wasn't welcome in our home. Your home, I corrected. You made that very clear. It was never our home, was it? The coffee shop door opened. Patricia and Vanessa walked in. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, Jasmine muttered beside Derek. Marcus, honey, we came to support you, Patricia said, shooting me a venomous look. Mrs. Thompson, Miss Thompson, this is a private conversation, Derek said. It's about our family. We have a right to be here, Vanessa snapped. Actually, you don't, Derek replied. Angel, Patricia turned to me, her voice suddenly sweet. Sweetheart, I think there's been a terrible misunderstanding. What happened the other night? You locked me outside in a storm. I was upset. You'd been so disrespectful to Marcus, and I just thought some fresh air might help you calm down. Fresh air? I could have died from hypothermia. Don't be so dramatic, Vanessa rolled her eyes. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I looked at Marcus. They abuse me, and you all gaslight me into thinking I'm the problem. Abuse? Patricia's voice went shrill. How dare you? We welcomed you into this family. We treated you like a daughter. You treated me like a servant, I said quietly. And when I didn't perform perfectly, you punished me. Marcus, are you going to let her talk to your mother this way? Vanessa demanded. Marcus looked between us, and I saw the moment he made his choice. Angel, I think you should apologize to my mother, right now. Then we can talk about you coming home. I stood up. I'm not coming home, Marcus. I'm filing for divorce. Derek here will be sending you the papers. You can't be serious, Marcus said. I've never been more serious. Fine. He stood abruptly, his chair screeching. Go! See if I care. You were never good enough for this family anyway. Patricia grabbed his arm. Marcus, don't... No, Mom, let her go. She wants to throw away our marriage over nothing. Let her. Over nothing? My voice rose. You let your mother assault me. I'll show you assault. Marcus lunged forward. Derek stepped between us immediately. Mr. Thompson, I strongly advise against that. Marcus! Robert's voice boomed from the doorway. I hadn't seen him come in. What the hell do you think you're doing? Marcus froze. You were about to hit your wife, Robert said, his face ashen. In front of witnesses, in front of a lawyer. She's not my wife anymore, Marcus spat. Good, I said, because I deserve better than you. The assault threat was captured on 3 different cameras, Derek's phone, the coffee shop's security system, and Jasmine's phone. Combined with my documented evidence of the lockout incident and the recorded conversation where Patricia admitted to it, Derek said we had a strong case. The divorce proceedings moved quickly. Marcus contested it at first, but after Derek presented our evidence to his lawyer, he changed his tune. My client would like to propose a settlement. Marcus's lawyer, a tired-looking woman named Miss Patterson, said during our mediation session. We're listening, Derek replied. Mr. Thompson will accept a no-fault divorce. He'll split all marital assets 50-50. In exchange, Mrs. Thompson agrees not to press charges for the incident. I looked at Derek. He leaned close and whispered, "Your call. But you have enough for criminal charges if you want them." I thought about it. No, I want the charges filed. What they did was criminal, and they need to face consequences. Miss Patterson sighed. "Mrs. Thompson, my client is willing to be very generous. Your client let his mother lock me outside in a thunderstorm and said I deserved it. Then he threatened to assault me in public. I'm not negotiating on the charges." 3 weeks later, Patricia was charged with reckless endangerment. Marcus's threat gave me grounds for a restraining order. The divorce was finalized with me getting 60% of the marital assets due to Marcus's fault. I was moving into my new apartment when my phone rang. Unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Angel, please, we need to talk." Marcus's voice was desperate. "We have nothing to talk about. I made a mistake. I see that now. Mom was wrong. Vanessa was wrong. I should have protected you." "You're right. You should have. Can we please just meet? Talk this through?" "No. Angel, I love you. I want to fix this." "You can't fix this, Marcus. You showed me exactly who you are. Your mother abused me and you told me I deserved it. That's not something you come back from. Everyone makes mistakes." "Mistakes? Marcus, you chose them over me every single day of our marriage. You isolated me from my friends. You made me doubt my own reality. And when your mother literally put my life in danger, you blamed me. That's not a mistake. That's who you are." "I can change. Maybe. But not with me. I'm done being your punching bag. I'm done being your family's scapegoat. I'm done." "Please." I hung up. He called back immediately. I blocked the number. Jasmine came around the corner with a box. "Was that him?" "Yeah, wanted to reconcile." Of course he did. Now that there are legal consequences, suddenly he sees the light. Too little, too late. "Way too late," Jasmine agreed. She set down the box and gave me a hug. "You okay?" "Actually, yeah, I think I am." And I was. For the first time in 3 years, I could breathe. I could be myself without walking on eggshells. I could have opinions without being called difficult. I could exist without being punished for it. Derek called that evening. "Patricia's hearing is next week. Looks like she's going to take a plea deal. Community service, anger management classes, and a permanent restraining order from you." "Good. How are you holding up?" "Better than I expected. I keep waiting to feel sad about the divorce, but mostly I just feel relieved." "That's pretty normal, actually. You grieved the relationship while you were still in it." He was right. I'd spent years trying to be enough, to be better, to earn their approval. I was done with that. My new life wasn't perfect, but it was mine, and that made all the difference. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to choose between your own well-being and keeping the peace? What did you choose? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.